Welcome to Be Inspired, your ultimate resource for finding inspiration so we as a collective can live consciously and creatively in a rapidly changing world. Today's episode takes us into the power of art, identity, and storytelling through the lens of the 2025 Black History Month art exhibition presented by the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton. I'm your host, Francesca, and I'll be guiding you through an incredible collection of work by Black artists who are shaping narratives, preserving history, and envisioning the future through their creativity. This exhibition isn't just about art. It's about legacy, resilience, and the shared experiences of Black communities across generations. Each piece carries meaning beyond the canvas, challenging us to reflect on history, migration, social change, and the future of Black identity. So let's explore some of the remarkable artists featured in this collection. And I'll break it down into 4 segments, and we'll start with the first and call it Identity and the Power of the Faceless Figure. One of the most striking aspects of this exhibition is how artists use symbolism to explore identity. Kristen Alacock, a Toronto-based artist and founder of the Art of KDA, brings us a thought-provoking series inspired by the ancient Egyptian Ankh, a symbol of life, balance, and legacy. Her work features faceless figures, a deliberate choice that invites viewers to step into the narrative. But what does it mean to be faceless? In Kristen's art, the absence of distinct features isn't about erasure. It's about inclusion. By removing specific identities, her figures become universal, representing the collective Black experience rather than just an individual story. They symbolize the shared resilience of Black communities, a connection to ancestral heritage, as faceless figures often represent spirits and history in African artistic traditions, and the reclaiming of identity, countering how history has often erased Black contributions. Her pieces Goddess of Infinity and God of Eternity celebrate Black femininity and masculinity, honoring the balance of strength and wisdom passed down through generations. Segment 2, Migration and the Diaspora. Art as a bridge between homes. Migration is another powerful theme woven throughout this exhibition. Audra Townsend, a Jamaican-Canadian artist, captures this beautifully in her piece called Catalyst for Social Change. What makes this work stand out is Audra integrates unexpected materials like shin noodle packaging to represent cultural exchange. It's a reminder that migration isn't just about movement, it's about adaptation and resilience and the blending of cultures. Similarly, Kim Foster Yardley's Red Thread uses layered textures to symbolize the African bloodline that connects the diaspora, and it forces us to ask, how do we carry our histories when we move to new places? And what traditions bind us across continents? And then we have Paul Diaz, his 2 pieces, The Poet and the Philosopher, representing his uncle, connect with migration and the diaspora. Migration isn't just about physical movement, it's also about the exchange of ideas, culture, and identity. Throughout history, Black poets and philosophers have used their words to preserve history, navigate displacement, and redefine belonging. By honoring his uncle, Paul connects personal memory to collective history, reminding us that wisdom, creativity, and resilience are passed down through family and community. His pieces reflect how diasporic communities have preserved their heritage through poetry and philosophy, making sure that traditions, struggles, and triumphs remain alive despite displacement. Segment 3. Art as resistance to social change. Art is more than expression. It's activism. It's a tool that has fueled social movements for centuries. Komi Olaf is a Nigerian-born Toronto artist and poet who masterfully blends history, emotion, and symbolism. His piece called Wildflower pays tribute to Mary Ann Shadd Cary, the first Black woman in North America to publish a newspaper. She was an educator, an abolitionist, and a fighter for justice. Through bold colors and floral symbolism, Komi connects her legacy to today's fight for racial equality. Another striking work of his is called Across the Border. Was created in response to the tragic death of George Floyd. Now, this piece imagines the moment his mother heard his final plea and transforming a deeply personal loss into a global call for justice. This is why Black art is so important. It doesn't just reflect history. It demands we confront it. It forces us to see the struggles, resilience, and victories of Black communities, past and present. Segment 4. Afrofuturism, imagining Black futures. Now, this is a movement that blends African heritage with futuristic themes to imagine new possibilities for Black identity. Queen and Micah are two artists in this exhibition who embrace this vision. Afrofuturism is about reclaiming the narrative, and it asks, what does the future of Black culture look like beyond the constraints of history? How do we create a world where Black identity thrives beyond borders, oppression, and historical trauma? Through digital media and abstract works, these artists transport us into a world of transformation and empowerment. So in closing, why does this exhibit matter? Well, as we wrap up, I want you to think about something. What stories get remembered? Whose histories are told? And how does art help preserve the voices that history tries to silence? This exhibition is a celebration. It's a reflection and a challenge. It invites us to engage, to listen, and to see ourselves within these works. So I encourage you to go out and explore these pieces, sit with them, and let them spark dialogue. Visit the Canadian Caribbean Association of Halton's Black History Month art exhibition at the Queen Elizabeth Park Community and Cultural Centre this month of February to experience these works firsthand and continue the conversation about art, history, and identity. And here's my ask. Support the artists featured in the exhibition by following their work, purchasing their art, spreading the word. Visit the exhibition in person and engage with the stories being told through these powerful pieces. And if you're an artist or creative, consider how your work can be part of the ongoing conversation around identity and cultural preservation. And finally, share this episode with friends and family and fellow creatives to keep the dialogue going. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. And if you've enjoyed this episode, share it with your community, keep the dialogue alive, and until next time, stay inspired.